In this video, we're going to go over what it's like to fly for the first time. By the end, you should have a better idea about how to purchase your ticket online, what to expect when you arrive at the airport, how do you find your ticket counter to check in, what's it like to go through immigration and security, and then once you're through, how do you find your airplane, and what's the process for getting on it. Once you arrive, how do you collect your baggage, and then exit the airport. Okay, let's get started. Now, in order to book a flight online, you're going to have to use a credit card. It can be either yours or somebody else's, as long as you have their permission. If you're paying by cash, then you either go to a travel agent or you go directly to the office of the airline you wish to book on. Start by Googling book flight. This is going to bring up a number of websites that will let you purchase a plane ticket. Now, I recommend checking at least 3 of these sites to compare prices, but these days they're usually all about the same price, give or take a little bit. You can also go directly to one of the airline websites and compare that with the prices that you see on the other sites. So here I'm just looking at Lufthansa. I hit the book online, and then I fill out the information and they'll spit out a price. Now, for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to use Expedia. So here at the top you have a choice of choosing a round trip, which just means that you will be returning, or a one-way trip, which means you won't be returning, or multiple destinations if you're doing a grand tour. We're going to just choose round trip. Now I fill out the location and the dates that I wish to travel, and then I hit search. You'll get a list of flights. Now I don't want a really long flight, so I'm going to choose the option here on the left for only flights with one stop. There are some other filters too you can play with. You can take a look at those and see which ones suit you. Next, you choose the flight that you want to take. It will then give you an option to choose your return flight. If you don't like your return flight, just hit the back button and choose another flight. Just remember, until you put in your credit card, nothing is permanent. You can always go back and change things. So don't hesitate to play around with the flights until you're totally satisfied. Now at this point, they're going to try to sell you a lot of additional stuff. You can just ignore it unless you're interested. So the next screen, they will let you review your flight. Remember, nothing is permanent until you've entered your credit card. So this is where you want to double check that you've chosen the correct dates. I've made mistakes here many times, so double check. Scroll down to the bottom, and once you're certain they are the flights that you really want to take, hit continue booking. Above this are just the advertisements that you can skip. Now you've reached the page where you fill out your personal information so they know who's flying. You fill that out, you hit continue booking. And then the last page is your credit card and email information. And fill these out, and when you're done, hit complete booking, and then that's it. Arriving at the airport. Airport parking is really, really expensive, so if you can, I recommend that you get a taxi cab or get a friend to drive you. As you drive up to the airport, there are signs directing you to the different terminals. Terminals is just a word for building. Each airline has a designated parking spot at a particular building. These signs will tell you what building or terminal your airline is parked at. It's a good idea to look this up ahead of time in case you miss the signs. Now, the drop-off area at your designated terminal will look something like this. You cannot park your car here for security reasons. You can just unload your baggage and get dropped off. There may also be signs telling you exactly where to be dropped off. So the next challenge will be to find your check-in counter. When you first enter the airport, it'll look something like this. To find your ticket counter, or the desk where you're going to check in, you should look for a screen like this one or like this one. You will find your flight on the screen, and it will give you a corresponding ticket counter number. The ticket counters look like this, and you need to look for that particular desk or number that was on the screen. When you arrive at the counters, you may see a machine similar to this one. These machines will let you auto check in. You just follow the instructions on the screen. Since this is your first time flying, I recommend you stand in line and check in person. The agent can help you with things like baggage, seats, security, and answer any questions that you may have. The first thing that they'll ask for is an ID. Now, if you're flying within the country, you can use your government-issued ID, like a driver's license. If you're flying internationally, you will need a passport that's not expiring within 6 months. They then will ask you to put your luggage on the weighing scale next to the counter to make sure that it's not more than the allowed weight. And then finally, they'll tag your luggage and stick it with lots of barcode ID stickers. They will then stick a corresponding sticker on the back of your boarding pass. It's very important that you keep the sticker because if your bags go missing, you'll need the sticker to prove that you're the owner of the bag, and it also has information that will help them locate the bag. And then lastly, you'll be given a boarding pass similar to these. The two main bits of information that you want to pay attention to is when is the plane boarding, or in other words, what time do you need to get on the plane, and then what gate is it leaving from. Gate is just the name that they use for the door that you'll use to get on the airplane. So in this next section, we're going to go over what you can expect from security and immigration. So the biggest thing to remember about security is that it involves long, tedious lineups, so be patient. This is an overview of a typical security setup. To start, you load your carry-on bags onto the X-ray belt and you put your personal items in the tray. You need to remove everything that is metal like watches, belts, keys, and any loose change. Don't worry about your small jewelry. You also need to remove your liquids bag and put it in the bin. Just remember you're only allowed liquids that are a maximum 3 ounces or 100 milliliters and are in a clear Ziploc bag. Also, you need to put your electronics like laptops in a separate bin. In all likelihood, they'll also ask you to remove your shoes and any sweaters or coats. The bags will then go through the X-ray machine. While they're in the X-ray machine, you'll walk through the body scanner. You'll stand with your hands above your head for approximately 2 to 3 seconds. The security people will see an image like this, and if they get any square dots, then they'll pat you down at the point where the dots are. If you're a woman, a security woman will do this, and if you're a man, a security man will do this. And then you pick up your bags and things, and you are done with security. Now, if you're traveling to another country, you may need to go through immigration. And this is very much like security in that it involves long lines and lots of patience. Usually they just want to see your passport and enter it into their computer, and then that's it. Now comes, how do you find your airplane? Once you're through immigration and security, airport terminals can be quite beautiful. Now your gate where you find your airplane is listed on your boarding pass, but you'll also want to check the displays that are located throughout the corridors to make sure that the gate number hasn't changed. They do change them from time to time, and you'll end up at the wrong gate then. So once you've confirmed your gate, you'll follow the signs like this. The gates are always listed in English, even in countries where English is not the primary language. Now airplanes are large, and so to park them they have to be spaced fairly wide apart, so prepare to walk long distances. You may need to take several moving sidewalks, or even a shuttle like this one to reach your gate. When you arrive at the gate, there will be a desk and a large sign telling you the gate number. You sit and you wait. When they call the row number of your seat, you get up, you give your boarding pass to the agent at the desk to scan in, and then you walk through the door onto the plane. Getting settled on the plane is pretty straightforward. You shouldn't find too much trouble here. Once you're on the plane, you'll see the seats arranged something like this. Above the seats are the row numbers. For each seat, it will say if it's a window, middle, or aisle seat so that you don't get confused. You place your carry-on luggage in the overhead bin like this gentleman is about to do, and then smaller bags will go down at your feet. Now the seat belt is a bit odd. It's shaped like this, and you click them together, something like a car seat belt, but to undo the seat belt, you have to lift the top part of the buckle. Before takeoff, the flight attendant will run through all the instructions, but if you're nervous, you can check out the flight safety card that will be located in front of you. And remember to bring your mobile charger just in case they have a USB charging station at your seat. We're finally at the last step, where you arrive, get your bags, and leave. When the plane touches down, you don't want to jump up like these passengers. You want to sit in your seat with your seatbelt on until the plane is parked and totally still. Once you leave the plane, follow the signs for baggage. When you reach the baggage area, there'll be a display that tells you which baggage carousel you can find your bags on. This will be confirmed at the baggage carousel, where the display will also list your flight. And then you simply wait for your bags to come out. In some airports, before you leave the baggage area, you have to show a security or a customs person your baggage tags and the baggage sticker on the back of your ticket. Once you're out of the baggage area, you just follow the taxi signs to find a taxi to take you where you want to go. Always be sure to catch a taxi from the location the sign indicates. These will be the regulated taxis, which are usually safe. I hope this video has given you a better idea of the logistics of what to expect the first time you fly. One thing I want to emphasize is never be afraid to ask someone for help. We all had a first time that we had to fly, and most people are very, very happy to help. Now, I didn't talk about the experience of flying, so if you're interested in that or what the effects are on your body, just let me know in the comments below. I fly at least 5 to 15 hours twice a week. It's a lot, I know. So I'm well versed in its effects. Also, if you found this video useful or if you liked it, please hit the like button below. And as always, I would love to hear from you and what you thought or didn't like about the video, or if I've left something out, just put it in the comments below and I'll do my best to respond. I really enjoy hearing from you. Thanks for watching.